It is definitely a new year. I hope you all had an amazing 2021. Of course, it's gonna be good and bad, right? Be good and bad, right? But I hope overall your 2021 was amazing. I hope your 2021 was amazing because 2022 is gonna be amazing. How are you guys doing today? Okay. I really don't know that only the real ones are gonna watch this video. Should I do like a soft, like just like a soft whisper, or should I talk? Let's go like in between, right? So I'm gonna whisper something. I'm almost sort of, just do some soft speaking. You already know what's up. It's a new year, but we do some things the same. We'll light our candle. This one is eucalyptus and sage. So, I'm obsessed with candles. I've been obsessed with candles for a minute, but it's grown. And I really learned that for my room particularly, I like earthy scents or like essential oil scents. Eucalyptus is my favorite scent. So anything with eucalyptus is definitely up my alley. Light it up. Yes, 3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Okay, it's gonna get nice and good in here. Okay. So I know it's been a long time since you guys have like really seen me. I don't really know how long this video is gonna be, but I'm just gonna talk. So where do I start? I don't know. I don't know where to start, but I have realized that something that came to my attention recently that like really made me realize that I've been kind of like depressed for a very long time. And even times when I feel like it's gotten worse, this new sign that I've realized made me realize, oh shoot, like even when I feel like I'm better, like I'm still slick in this depression. That's why like even when I feel better, I'm like not better. Like I still will randomly sometimes just feel bad, even if I'm like don't really not have nothing to feel bad about for real. So it's not something I just like realized. Like, can y'all see me? Let me zoom out some. Let's zoom in. Let me zoom. Yeah, there we go. Y'all probably can see a little bit of everything. Let's see. Okay. Anyways, it don't matter for real. It's a small ass room, so that's part of like. So that's where I kind of start like. The pandemic, like 2020, was of course it was hard on a lot of people. Lost family members, and it was a very hard time, like losing jobs and things. So I lost all my jobs that I had. I was teaching at a school had closed. I was working at a restaurant, the restaurant had closed, and it was all like abruptly. I remember, I think it was March 13th 2020 was like the last day that I had worked. And I was doing like Instacart and things, so I was still doing good for a minute because I had my car and everything. But then September of last year, was it September? I think September, right? August, September, around that time of not last year but 2020. My car got totaled, got in an accident and got totaled. Loved that car. And I just wasn't about to get another car because it was a Mercedes and it was almost paid off, and I wasn't about to get a new payment and things like that. So I didn't have a car for a very long time, like the rest of 2020, 2021. So I didn't really have that job. They had unemployment for a minute, but eventually in the middle of last year that had stopped too. So I don't know. I was kind of like just like depressed. So the end of 2020, December 2020, I moved out of the apartment I had with my ex. So I'm getting really candid. I don't really talk about these things at all, like ever. But I guess I really feel safe with y'all. So it's between us. Um, so I moved out of the apartment with my ex, and I moved in with my mom, and my sister also was living here. And so I have like the smallest room. It's a pretty big house, but I have like the smallest room. They both have gigantic rooms. Like they both have like 2 rooms in one room. Like 2 of my rooms can fit in either of their rooms. Probably 3 of my rooms in my mom's room. But you know, my sister was already living here, so I was gonna be like, oh, I should get the bigger room or whatever. But it's been a really hard time like being in this small space. Like everything that I have from that apartment, I had to put like inside this small space, inside of my small storage, and that I have to pay monthly on that as well. You know, and it's a blessing because that I have my mom, and that she is financially stable enough to be able to give me somewhere to stay until I'm able to get back on my feet completely. But it was like I had no car, I had no job, and I'm living far from the city, so it was like I'm living far. So that was really really hard. I was still making this content. I was still making ASMR content and things like, as y'all see, this has been my background for a minute. But it's just been hard. It's been difficult trying to like grow in things and being like inconsistent. And I think like a lot of my depression I put on myself just because of my like inconsistency with some things. It's like I'm consistent, but like I'm inconsistent. Where it's like I'm never gonna give up on something. I'm never gonna completely stop something, but I may like stop something for a minute and do like something else. Yeah, I think I'm really just ranting. So if I'm going all over the place, forgive me. Try to keep up, please. But I recently feel like I can self-diagnose myself with ADHD because I really noticed that I can't continue to focus on one thing for a very long time. I mean, maybe like a couple hours would be the most, like 2 hours, so I can focus on one thing before my mind is like, okay, you know what? I can't even do this no more. My mind is like pooped, and I'm not like tired because I can go do something else. But when it comes to that thing, my mind is exhausted of that thing, and so that's always like kind of difficult. So I mean, I would have to go to a doctor to get like diagnosed for real, but I don't know. I never look up the symptoms, but just from what I've known from knowing other people who have ADHD, or ADD. I don't know. I would have to go to a doctor, so ignore me, child. But so that was pretty hard on me. Just like being in this small space. I've made the best out of it, of course, but it's just like stuff start breaking down. The things in my closet are breaking down. So there's like all my stuff that I had hanging up and all the organization I had in my closet is all gone. I have to buy another like railing for the inside of my closet, this small closet. Like 3 of the drawers on my dresser are broken, so I no longer have that space for the clothes. I just got another dresser, thank God. I have to go pick it up this weekend. But yeah, I mean, I'm just making the best of it. Like I have all of my content stuff. I have lighting, I have cameras, I have mics, I have all this stuff, and including all of my clothes, and just trying to make it look nice in here. And I set it up, and I did it pretty nice in here. It's a mess right now. I'm not showing you, but I'll show you guys like when I clean it up. It looks really nice in here, but it's hard because like I get new stuff, and I have nowhere to put it. I'm in a small space, so like I've just been I've really realized that like I've really been like down for a minute. But around August of this year, I got a job. Yay, it was great. I wasn't paying much, but it was a job of 2 of my best friends. They were working there as well, so it was like a nice little difference, nice little change. So and only job I really have worked since like I had work was for like a year and some change before that was like Instacart and jobs, just delivering and things like that whenever I could. I finally got this job, and Okay, also let me know, like, I was doing okay because my mom, she owns businesses, so I was like working for her and doing things like that, but I wasn't, like earning enough to be living on my own. So I got this job. It wasn't paying a whole lot, but it was, cool, and it was, part time, so I could still work on my creative stuff and work on, anything, all of my own things, and still be able to have some money. That was around the time I stopped posting because I live like 45 minutes from my job, and my best friends, they were roommates, and they lived in the same area as the job, so they lived about 20 minutes from the job or whatever. So the days that I would work, I would stay there. So I was staying there. So if I was working 4 days back to back, I was staying there for 4 days. I only had 3 days to be home and like work on my own things, and that's honestly draining, going from one place to another. And neither place is really your own. You live like in this small space in either place, and excuse me, living in this small space in like either place, and I'm going back and forth. So by the time I get back here, after working and then, like going back and forth, by the time I get back home, like that first day, I can't even be awake. I can't even stay awake. I'm like knocked out sleep, and probably because of depression a lot, because I'm tired, going to the back and forth. That's a whole day gone. And then it's like, so I didn't really have time to create and things like that. So that's why I haven't been like doing much of that. So I haven't been doing much of posting and things because I haven't had much time with that kind of schedule that I was working with. So the salon that I was working at, so I was the front desk at a salon. The salon I was working at got bought out and by a new company, and got bought out by a new company. So with the new company, we had the whole month of October. So I got there in August, like the middle of August. So I was working there at the middle of August, at the whole rest of that month, and September. At September, we would close the whole month of October, but they were going to pay us. So I was working on my own other things, like my own businesses and things like that. Like, cause I can go ahead and start telling you, it's working on my do-rag business. So I'm coming out with a luxury do-rag business. A luxury do-rag business. It's called Trash Tag Do-Rag. I'll get more to it in a minute, but this is one of the do-rags. I'm gonna get to more to explaining like what it is in a second. But so if you want to know, just like stick around. But where was I? So yeah, we were off the whole month of October, and I was working really hard on these do-rags. I've been working on it, like this has been coming for a while. I've been working on this since for about a year and some change now. So it's like now it's like coming to fruition. It's like really dope, really dope. Something I'm really happy about. I'm really excited about. I can't wait to launch. But okay, yes. So we have closed, but they still paid us for the month of October, and we opened again in November. The new company, they have like different rules or whatever. I did get a pay raise, and I also got a schedule that was working better. So I was working like 3 days back to back, but all day. So it was like 10 hours a day. So I was getting even more hours than I was getting previously, and I was only going to be there for 3 days out of the week instead of 4. So much better. I was so much happier. I love my coworkers. They're amazing. And so it's all going good, all going good, all going nice and dandy or whatever. And but I'm still like, I'm still not happy, and I feel like I'm not going to be happy in this space that I'm in, like just being here and living here in this small space. I feel like there's no way that I can really be like happy for real. There's no way I can be like happy for real. So I need my own space. That's really the foregone conclusion. I need my own space. I'm ready to move out of here. And nothing against my mom or my sister. I love them, but I don't feel like I can live here anymore. Like I don't feel like I can be here anymore. Like much longer. I mean, I'm gonna stay as long as I need to, because like nothing's gonna break me, regardless of how no matter how I feel, nothing's gonna break me. But I'm getting more into a space. So what I've done is, I've I took yesterday. Yesterday, I took some time. I went to a park. I went to Walmart first. I got me a big calendar, and I went to the park, and then I just wrote my notebook like my goals for like my ASMR content, my dance content, and everything that I have, like fitness and everything, and my business and my beauty content and everything that I have. I well, like a schedule, like a weekly schedule that I'm gonna try to like stick to. So y'all will be seeing me more often, a lot more often. So yay! And I bought my big calendar so I can mark, the days that I have accomplished the goals that I have for that day and the days that I didn't, so I can see how much I'm procrastinating, how much I'm not procrastinating. I got this idea from an influencer called Alyssa Ashley. She put it on her Instagram, and I saw how she would do like color coordinate everything and put smiley faces for the days that she did. But she did her specifically for fitness, I believe. So she did the smiley face the days that she completed, her fitness goal for that day, and the sad face for the days that she didn't. So I color coordinated mine with each category. So today is filming ASMR content day. So this is what I'm doing today. And you're gonna see me posting about 2 times a week at least. Maybe if I'm feeling real good, I might post another time, but you're gonna see me at least twice a week. Period. So yeah. So in November, my mom, she been dealing with like some medical issues for a while. She had to get into surgery. See what I mean? Can't even film without somebody making some noise. Anyways, so she went into surgery. She went to surgery. She went to surgery and on November 19th, and it went everything went good. It was a pretty routine surgery. It was nothing that it was like a very, very, very low risk surgery. So she was doing good. She was in recovery for it was on the 19th that she went in and she got out. So she's in recovery for I think it's like 6 weeks total, like recovery. But the first few days, she's weak, so we know that we have to help her. So my grandma, she stayed here and stayed in her room, and was there to help. And she also had me and my sister. So she was doing really good until about like, and then about like that next Monday, Tuesday, she just wasn't feeling well. So so she got a doctor on Wednesday. They told her that she may, or Thursday, to our doctor on that next Thursday, they told her that she may have they told her that she must have some kind of infection and gave her an antibiotic for it. But she just kept getting worse and worse. And by that Sunday, like then I came home that night from work, like in the middle of the night, she just wasn't, like, she was barely moving. She was getting weaker and weaker, and and by that day she just was so weak. I asked her, like, do you need to go to the hospital? I was telling her, like, we're taking you to the hospital. It's pretty much, I woke my sister up out of her sleep. Was like, we're taking mommy to the hospital. And she was like, no, I don't want to go. I'm going to call my doctor in the morning and see what she says. Called doctor in the morning. The doctor called her by the next afternoon on that Monday and told her to take her ass to the emergency room, like I told her. And we went. She was not in good shape at all. She started to turn yellow, so she was jaundiced. And when we got there, I basically told her that she did have an infection and they needed to admit her into the hospital. With the guidelines for the panorama that's going on, with the DVEC 9-1 that we have going on. That's it backwards, in case y'all didn't catch that. I couldn't stay because we got there like 6. We didn't get up to the place to like 9, 10 you didn't get up to the like a room in the ER. We didn't get up to a room in the ER until about 9 or 10. And by that time, visitation at the hospital is only from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. So I had to go home and just leave my mom there. So I went every day that she was there at 1 o'clock. I was there. Some days I got there a couple of minutes early, and some days, honestly, I stayed later. Some days I stayed till midnight because they didn't kick me out. The nurses and nothing didn't say anything, so I just stayed as long as I could. And she was there for 10 days. She went critical twice during that time. I only know because my cousin, she's a nurse, and so the doctor was talking to her a lot, and so she told her she was critical like twice because she was jaundiced. She's also sepsis because so basically she had like stool in her bloodstream, so it was pretty bad. I had to give her a few blood transfusions to try to like clean it out and things. She had a couple CAT scans and MRIs, and all of her tests came back great. It was just because they were trying to figure out why she was jaundiced. Of course, jaundice happens from infection, but it also can happen if it's some liver or gallbladder damage. So they wanted to make sure that her liver and gallbladder was okay, which it was, and everything was good. They wanted to make she also had like some breathing troubles. So they wanted to make sure there wasn't like a clot or anything that traveled from the surgery up to her lungs that was causing breathing problems. But that came back and that was fine as well. She did have like some slight pneumonia, so they gave her like so she was on like a breathing machine while she was there. But she was there for 10 days total, a long 10 days. I was there every day, and it was a tough time to get through. But while she was in the hospital, it was crazy because I had 3 family members in the hospital at the same time. She was, my cousin was, and then my aunt got into the hospital because she lives in New York. I'm sorry, because she got TIFOC 19. I'm gonna blur it out because I don't want them to maybe demonetize me for talking about the pandemonium that we have. But she got TIFOC 91, and she was on the breathing machine, on the ventilators. She was she was not doing very well. Her respiratory was not doing well at all. Her oxygen levels were very, very low. And your oxygen, when your body's not getting oxygen, your organs can't work right. So she was getting organ failure left and right. And so they just let her go. So, Diti, love you. Miss you. See you soon. Not too soon though, in Jesus' name. But yeah, she she passed away, and so they had a funeral on the 2nd of January, and I made the memorial video. So I was like they were sending me pictures of her and videos of her from like all kinds of ages, and I had to make this video. It's a 13-minute long video. Ended up being 13 minutes long, which was really tough the whole time. Yeah, but I don't look at death as like a bad thing. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay with, I see death in like a different way. That's a different topic for a different day. If you want to talk about that one day, we can, but it's getting pretty morbid. It's been morbid for a minute on here, and let's try to get a little bit more happy. So good things that happen. So Christmas, I got a new car. My mom bought me a car. Like I told you, she does pretty good for herself. So mom bought me a car, paid off. It's not like a brand new car. Like, no, it's a used car, an older used car. But yeah, I'm so happy it's paid off completely. I can be able to move around, so I need to do. Go to like pop-up shops to sell my do-rags, and that gets me back to my do-rags. So Trash Tag Do-Rag is a company that I've been working on for like about at least a year and a half. It's been in thoughts for longer than that, but actually working and being like written down and pursuing, it's been about a year and a half, and it's been a long year and a half. So it's the concept of Trash Tag Do-Rag. So it's a luxury do-rag brand. It's a luxury do-rag brand, and it basically is. So Trash Tag Do-Rag is a luxury do-rag brands. We have silkies and we have velvet do-rags with silky lining. So the inside of the velvet do-rags are also silk. Keep the hair nice and good. So basically it's like, of course, I'm black. as you can see. And being like a black man, just being a black person, like hair care is very important. And I feel like even beyond hair care, do-rags are like have become a staple in like the black community just for style. And I feel like, it's street style, but it can also, I've been wearing do-rags like almost, I used to wear a do-rag every day, like the whole 2019, I was wearing do-rags every day. Like when I'm on TikTok, they call me the CEO of do-rags. I had a do-rag every day. I did looks based on my do-rags. I was the do-rag king, so it was like I know I wanted to make a do-rag line, but the way I had to make it different was the way I came up with the name for Trash Tag Do-Rag. I was talking to my best friend, and I was trying to say like hashtag like do-rag CEO or whatever I was trying to say, but I said like I have a stutter sometimes, so I stuttered and said trash tag, and I was like trash tag do-rag, and she was like, oh, that's kind of fire, trash tag do-rag, or trash tag do-rags, or whatever, trash tags, do-rags, whatever we came out with. It was some kind of variation, but now it's officially trash tag do-rag. So the concept is, we as black people, we're very multifaceted. We come from different walks of lives, and with the do-rag being such a staple in our community, why can't we, we should be able to customize it and, get different ones to fit our personality. And so my brand is basically based on, so we have what we call tags or charms that are attached to the do-rag. So we're basically, it's a do-rag with a nice cute little hole in it, and you put your tag on it. So our first 3 tags I have one that says Black AF, and I'm only wearing 2 today. I only have two slots, and I have one that's We the People. So the first collection is called the We the People collection. So this is our featured tag, and it's basically just like we as a united like front, we as black people united, and it's because there's a lot of what's the opposite of unity? There's a lot of that in the black community. There's a lot of divide in the black community between like gender and sexuality and gender orientation and like status. There's a lot of divides that we have. And then the black community, there's people born in America, people born in other countries. There's all kinds of like natural divides. So I want like something that we can all have the same, like all something similar and still be different, right? So our first collection, we have our first few charms, but we're gonna be coming out with different collections. Like we have our blurred, so we have like we're gonna come up with like anime collections. We're gonna have like Marvel collections. We have our sports team collections. We're gonna come out. We're gonna have like some Rep Your City collections. So like I love New York, or I love ATL, or I love Cali, or whatever. I love Texas, whatever. I love London, wherever you're from. So we're gonna have like rep your birth year, like EST 1994, EST 1999, EST 2001, wherever, however old your EST 1885, not 18. Oh shoot. EST 1985, whatever. So we're gonna have like the birth year collections. So that's pretty much, we're gonna come up with many different collections. I want it to be like a timeless thing, to where we always have something new that we can use to represent our culture. To have charms with different countries on it. We're gonna have all of those things. But for now, we have a launch. I'm a very small business. It's just me. I'm the only owner. All of my coin has been going into this, personally for me. So I want to try to sell. I want this to be, as big of a name as I can get it to be for right now. Again, I just did this, but it messed up. The camera messed up. So basically what I was telling you is that my camera only allows me to film 29 minutes, and I'm not sure how long it's been and how much you have seen, but I was basically showing you the do-rag. So this is it. The logo is on the string. If you tie it, this way, you see the logo on the front side of your head. This is my left side. So if I turn around to the back, and you can see, there are charms that hang off of the. There are charms that hang off of the strings. So if you see the back, you can see the tail and the logo in the back. See the tail and the logo in the back. You can also have my charms. A charm back here as well. So this is the We the People tag that you see back here. So basically another thing that I was saying was this isn't how I regularly tie my do-rags. I tie like this specifically for this video to be able to show it so you can see them in the video. But you know, however you tie the video, you can tie. I mean, however you tie your do-rags, you can tie them however you would like to, and get you a nice little look with this do-rag customizable piece. You can really hang whatever you want to off these do-rags, and these charms also double as croc charms, so you can also put these on your crocs. You guys can go to trashtagdurag.com. The do-rag is, excuse me. Try that again. You can go to trashtagdurag.com and sign up for the newsletter. It's still coming soon. The website isn't launched yet. I plan on launching the end of this month. So this is really like my first like promotion for real for the website and for the first launch. So really excited. You guys can sign up. I'll put the link in the description box. And yes, I hope to see you guys on the website. Okay. Anyways, what else? So I've been working on that. Like I told you, I've organized to the way I can make my content. So that's basically what I'm working on for 2022. You know, a lot of people like, you know, want to do this differently, want to do that differently. The only thing I want to do differently is doing everything that I already have been doing and doing it better. So I'm be a better ASMR artist, a better everything. Right, so I'm going to be more organized. Organization is my goal for 2022. Being organized and executing everything how it needs to be executed. I was going to make this video no longer. I'm going to do a Q&A soon. If you made it this far, thank you so much. You really a real one. I'm going to do a Q&A soon. So put some questions down in the description box. I'll make a post, also like a community post as well, to ask some questions as well. So hope to see you guys there, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Remember, your light is infinite. No one can dim your light, not even yourself. Let your light shine bright, and let your I don't even remember what my outro was. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.